And welcome to Q&A Wednesdays. We are having part 4 of How Do I Walk in Purpose. I am your host, Intelexx. Thank you so much for tuning in. For those of you who are new here, welcome. We do Q&A Wednesdays, one Wednesday a month, where we pose a question to kind of gauge and get to know each other better, apart from us as artists, because we are more than what we do. All right, and so this is also an option and a way for you to ask any questions that you would like here during this time. You can submit it ahead of time, or you could do it during the live. So there's an option for that as well. We set aside time specifically for that because we're here for you. All right, and what we're going to do before we jump in, just a couple of announcements. All right, so here at Intelexx, we have so much going on, but if you want to stay in a know, on a note on everything that we have in store for us and what we have in store for you, subscribe to our email list. It's free $99. Subscribe to our YouTube channel and download our app. So just a double whammy, which is a win-win for you. If you subscribe to our member fees, you also get all-inclusive access to all of the perks on our apps as well. So download the Artrepreneurs Hub through the Mighty Networks app, and you will find us there. We have some goodies for you. All right, so just to recap parts 1, 2, and 3, I'm only going to focus on a couple points because we went through a lot of information. And for those who missed any parts, you can watch it through our app, watch it on our YouTube channel, or go to our Instagram in our series portion and check out all of parts that we've done so far. But one of the things that it takes in order to walk in purpose is knowing what that purpose is and having a connection with people that is meaningful, not just having a connection just to say you have some, right? Having that community involvement and relational development so that you can work with others and they can work with you. Building that spiritual foundation is also important. If you are unhappy when you wake up, then more than likely you are not walking or living in your purpose and your gifts. When you are walking in purpose, you're not putting yourself in a position to betray yourself, and you're not negotiating your integrity. It feels right. So if you're at a place where you are compromising your morals, your standards, your beliefs, that's not you operating in your gifts. That's you settling, and that's you doing things for the wrong motives and the wrong intentions. A lot of people do different things for money. Money doesn't necessarily care how you receive it. It does its purpose, right? But if we're doing things for specifically just for money, it's not going to work, okay? Because it's going to run out. And if you have the wrong reason for why you're getting money, that's not going to last either, right? Be genuine, be intentional with your purpose and with what you want to do, because there are going to be times where you're not going to make a lot, or you're not going to see that money until a later time. Are you still going to operate in that gift, even if you don't see revenue from it, right? So your gift will make room for you. And if you are operating in your gifts, it will fund you. And so when you focus on just living out your purpose, everything else will align when it's supposed to. So just, enjoy the journey, because that's the dream, not the destination. All right. Focusing on how life be lifing, change happens is the one constant in our lives, and that we're forced to change based on our circumstances. So what is apparent isn't always real. So to stay focused and not to compare your purpose with others, because your purpose and your calling are a little bit different. But to ensure that you are walking in purpose is not to compare yourself with what other people got going on, what they're doing, how they're doing it. They're watering their own grass, you should water yours too, all right? Instead of looking at why their grass is so nice and so clean and nurtured because they're putting work and effort into it. You could do the same for yours, and yours could be just as great. Try this one more time. I don't know what's going on with this connection today. Did the same thing when I went live last time. All right, so what I'm going to do is compile the lives together, so that way you'll have all of the information. But we're going to jump right back on in. We are in part 4 of How Do I Walk in Purpose. So this last part that I was sharing about part 3, just 3 things to think about to know that you are walking in purpose is when you're not hesitating, you're not teeter-tottering, you're not, holding the fence or being right in the middle. You know what it is that you need to do, and you do that. And having that spiritual foundation is key, because you can't do anything outside of yourself that you don't have within you. And then getting rid of the distractions, getting rid of the vices that you have, and then stepping into your purpose, actually walking into that, knowing when you're out of congruency with who you are, and like tapping into that holistic realm in order to see, your purpose live in action. So we are going to finish up the video that we started last month on stepping into your life purpose with Lisa Nichols. So we're going to watch her, and we're going to take some notes and come back and share our thoughts. All right.
What do you have? She said, 4. When I left the show, what do you think I did? Right? I hired 2 more coaches. So success leaves clues. I'm going to give you some of the clues. And people who are living an abundant life now, you guys just allow this to be a salve of confirmation. And then for everyone else who's moving in that direction, and more so in that direction, these are the things that abundant thinking people do all day, every day. 1, we create micro wins so we can get to macro wins. And we celebrate the micro wins. Far more celebrations in life. Number 2, we fail, but we always fail forward. See, people are going to fail. Abundant thinkers, right, Ka? We fail forward. We fail and we ask the question, what lesson did I learn? And what will I do differently the next time? Bring it on. Bring it on. I'm okay. Some of my greatest lessons came wrapped in sandpaper. They came wrapped in expensive lessons. They came wrapped with a hot credit card that I had to pay it off with. They came wrapped with a lawyer I had to hire. They came wrapped with tears on my pillow. But when I got the lesson, you better know I didn't have to get it again. Yes, yes? Some of you are using your lesson as luggage, using your lesson as shackles, and your lesson as your fuel to do it differently the next time. So abundant thinkers, we fail. We just fail forward. Every single time. Abundant thinkers, we're not only responsible, write this down, number 3, we're not only responsible for our actions, we're not only responsible for our thoughts. Abundant thinkers go the step further, and we're responsible for our reaction. Ooh, that's juicy. Yes, yes? Someone gonna chew on that on the plane on the way home, like reactions, right? Abundant thinkers not only hold ourselves responsible for our thoughts, we hold ourselves responsible for our actions, we hold ourselves responsible for our reactions before we ever do it. It doesn't mean we react and then apologize. It means we never do those things we have to apologize for. Yes, yes? We don't blame it on that's how I've always been. That's old. Grow up. You're a genius. You're brilliant. That's so 08. Right? Abundant thinkers. I'm just giving you some nuggets. There's a ton of other things. I'll share it with you at other time. But I'm telling you, these are practices of abundant thinkers. Christy talked about affirmations. Abundant thinkers understand the power of I am. Anything after the word I am is true to your unconscious mind, Michael. Anything. Anything after I am. Anything. Anything after I am. Even if you know it's not true, your conscious mind will believe it. Anything after I am. So the use of affirmations is very intentional and very consistent. I was diagnosed as clinically depressed in 2001. 1998. I was engaged to get married, and my fiance, who I did not know at the time, was bipolar. And he'd stopped taking his medicines, and under the belief system that love can cure anything. And so I ended up being picked up and thrown 3 feet across the room, and I ended up being choked until I passed out. And once I got out of that relationship, I just was different. It was different. So my mom insisted that I go to the doctor. I went to the doctor, and I sat on the table, and she checked me and talked to me and came back in with a prescription. And she said, Lisa, you're clinically depressed. And I felt like I heard Charlie Brown's parents talking like, wah, 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 wah. Clinically depressed, at least that'll make sense in that same sentence. And she handed me a prescription, and I read the prescription. It had my name on it, and it said Prozac. And I said, that don't make sense. Lisa Nichols, that don't make sense. And I said, do you mean I'm sad? She said, very, very sad. I said, can I try something? And I'm not recommending you guys, if you're on medication, you stop taking your meds. Please don't do that. I asked my doctor. She agreed. I said, do you mind if I try something before I take this? She goes, yes, but I need to see you back in 30 days. If you're in the same condition, I need us to try this medicine. I said, okay, I can do that. So I went home, and every day I got in the mirror, and I drilled, I am, every day. Because I realized I had forgotten who I was. I just forgot. And it was okay to forget. I just forgot. So every day for 25 minutes, I just went over the I ams. Every day, I am. And then I paralleled that with I forgive you for. Then I paralleled that with I commit to you, Lisa. Every single day. I went back in 30 days, and I'm talking to her, and I'm on fire. She's just looking at me. And I'm just talking. She twisted her head again. And I'm just talking. She says, wait, I got to stop you. I said, what? She goes, what are you taking? And can I have some? I was like, I'm taking some of me. And so the power of I am can pull you through the darkest moment. The power of I am. And so I want you to really begin. It's not hokey pokey. It's not mushy. It's real, and it's the truth. Abundant thinkers. What else do abundant thinkers do? Abundant thinkers continue to stay in cognitive dissonance. They continue to put themselves in cognitive dissonance. Let me explain to you what that is. Cognitive dissonance is the form of discomfort that you put yourself in when you think of yourself in such a way that doesn't match your current behavior. Oh, somebody came, that's worth the price of admission just to do that. Isn't that juicy? I'm going to say it again because some of y'all are like, okay, I don't even know what to write down. Cognitive dissonance. So just cognitive dissonance, you're creative, spell it whatever way you want. Cognitive dissonance is the form of mental disruption where you literally disrupt your own mind by thinking of yourself in a way that doesn't match your current behavior. It's beyond your current behavior. Your mind will be uncomfortable because it doesn't match. So your mind will begin to call you to do the thing to make your mental conversation match your behavior. Ooh, that's some good stuff. That right there, that's a game changer, somebody. Yes, yes? Yes, yes? Y'all so cute. I still see some of your faces like, Scooby-Doo, ruh-roh. Just study it. Just study it. When the book comes out, study it. I give you exercises to do. Don't worry about it. So abundant thinkers are constantly placing ourselves in cognitive dissonance. Constantly placing ourselves in cognitive dissonance. I have an infomercial that's coming out next year. It's the first personal development infomercial to come out since Tony Robbins. But can you say cognitive dissonance at its highest level? Because that comes with a really big bill. But if I gotta scare somebody, we might as well make ourselves nervous, reaching for the best version of ourselves, yes? So, how will you, I'm going to start challenging you, how will you be the man, the woman you've always known yourself to be? I'm going to come back to the points, but now I want to touch your soul. Because this is great thinking, this is great notes, that's a cute notebook. But there's a calling on your life that you don't get to shake. And it's only yours. No one else has the same calling as you. So comparing yourself to me doesn't do any good. Comparison is and will always be the thief of all joy. Someone might want to write that down. Comparison is and will always be the thief of all joy. You will never do me. When people said, oh my God, you're like the next Oprah. I said, and I've told Oprah's producers this. They called me as recently as on the plane, as I'm sitting on the plane coming here to A-Fest, they call it, again. And they're like, Lisa, we just love you. We just want to do work with you. And I said, as long as you are not trying to make me the next Oprah, because I will 100% fail you every time if you want Oprah. But if you're ever interested, I do a damn good Lisa Nichols. I mean, I got her on lock. I know Lisa. And so when you begin to look at people, look at someone as a model of who you can be by taking a piece of who they are, adding it to the uniqueness of who you are, and then understanding what's the divine assignment on your life. What do you need to do more of? Who do you need to be more of? What do you need to evict from your behavior? See, we're infopreneurs. We love information. But what do you need to let go of that's not serving you anymore? See, when I look at the things that I used to be, I look at procrastination, I look at scared, I look at being worried, I look at doubtfulness, I look at my edginess. I've always been a rebel, always will be a rebel. I just have to learn how to use my powers for good. Yes, yes? That wasn't always the case. There was a point where you might be there, so let me know if there's a point there where everything that you've been and every person, every characteristic that you've been that doesn't serve you, you need to confront it. And you need to say, thank you for getting me to this point. But in order for me to get there, I have to leave you here. You won't fit doubt. You won't fit worry. You won't fit being afraid of being seen. You won't fit. Come on, y'all done forgot how to say yes, yes? Boy, we got selective amnesia real fast. Like all those things, that fear of outgrowing your tribe. Anybody there? See, that was mine. See, because I wore a badge of honor. I love where I'm from. I don't apologize where I'm from in LA. I don't apologize. I don't need to wear it and get through a door with it, but I don't want to hide it either. But something happened when I became wildly successful. I became almost ashamed of my success. Because it seemed to make me so different. It was so different from Inglewood. It was so different from my cousins. It was so different from other women of color. It was so different from anyone of any color in the struggle. And that for a long time, that was my connection. I hadn't built another connection yet. Anyone know what I'm talking about? And all of a sudden, I began to silently sabotage myself. Now, it's not an obvious sabotage. I'm still running. I'm just kind of moonwalking. I look like I'm in motion. I'm just not as in much motion as I used to be. I remember the year when I made $975,000 in October, and I threatened to pass $1 million in 1 year. I took the rest of the year off. I said, oh, I'm tired. You know, we got sexy excuses. And then the next year, I hit $985,000 in August, and I was confronted. You going to take the rest of the year off again? And I had to realize that I was afraid of leaving someone behind. Come on, you guys. I just want to speak the truth. And I see the tissue. I see the tears. I stopped by to serve you up your truth. And someone has to love us enough to give us the truth, even if it's mildly to moderately to significantly uncomfortable.
These are those rhombohedron crystals in your pineal gland. When those crystals become electrically activated.
I remember, and she's in the room, someone said to me the other night when I did the in-suite, because I do this little in-suite thing where I coach, and we had a great time coaching. I'll do it again tonight. And she said, don't you feel guilty that you're leaving your community? And I said, not at all, because I can't do them any good struggling with them. But if I go away and I become someone, the woman I've always known myself to be, then I got something to go back and offer. Can you help me down off the stage? I love being a lady. I know I can do it myself, but why? Right. Thank you. For all you ladies that don't know about that, you get that when you get to your 40s. So I want to be closer to you. I'm going to push you a bit. Who are you willing to become at the risk of being seen? What are you willing to do at the risk of being wildly successful? What are you willing to say at the risk of being heard by everybody? What are you willing to model at the risk that people will follow you? What are you willing to let go at the risk of getting something greater? See, it's not in all the information you gain. It's in the what you're willing to do with the little bitty nuggets. If you just did half of what you've learned, just half. If you were willing to stand half as tall as who you know yourself to be. If you're willing, whose life would you change? Because when you get that your journey has less to do with you than it has to do with everyone who will be blessed enough to cross your path, then you're willing to do the thing you don't want to do. Say the thing you don't want to say so you can hurry up and be the person you've always known yourself to be. When you know to operate with a sense of importance, matter of fact, a little bit of urgency, to say, wait a minute, somebody's going to cross my path today, and when I let my light shine, my light illuminates their dark corner, and for a brief moment, Anthony, they see a little more of themselves. For a brief moment, they can see that wing, and they go, was that my wing? Oh, was that his wing? And when you leave and they can still see it, they realize it was theirs. Because you let your light shine. You were generous enough to get out of your freaking way. You were willing enough to surrender, to kill your ego, to kill your she-go. That's ours. You know, we got our own, right? You were willing. I'm going to go back, guys, right? So you might have to twist a little bit, but I'm going to go. When you look at someone, and I'm not saying I've arrived anywhere, but I love the place in the journey that I am right now. When you look at someone you chose to admire, ask me what I did in the dark of the night. Ask me, what was I willing to let go of so that I, in this form, can be born? Ask me what jacket, what cloth of victimhood, what cloth of fear I was willing to take off. Ask me, what was I willing to go study that lived and breathed abundance until I wore it so much it became not in my head, not in my heart, but it got in my DNA. Come on, you guys. When I bleed, it comes out. That's what you want to know. And then how can I reinvent myself so radical that it might disrupt my entire community? See, some of you are more committed to keeping the company you're keeping than you are to be the person you've been designed to be. I'm just saying. Somebody might say ouch on that, right? I see your ouch. She's like, ooh, I'm not even going to walk over there right now. I'm going to stay right here. I know I kind of hit you with that one. See, we get so committed to our tribe that we forget that it's seasonal. It's seasonal. And some people were brought in our lives to show us who we could become, and then our relationship will forever shift. And because we're trying to make everybody lifetime, we keep holding back, and we're looking like we almost jumping into a game of double dutch. I'm almost there. Hold on. Let the kids graduate from high school. But the kids are too. Oh, yeah, hold on. Let me just get my money together. Hold on. Let me lose this extra weight. Do you know if I waited till I lost the extra weight before I stood in front of you, Lisa Nichols would be the freaking secret? Y'all get that? Yes, yes? How about we do it while we get better at it? How about we do it? How about your 80% is 159% of what I need right now? How about I need your wrong in my life? How about that? How about your perfection is more about you than it's ever been about me? How about that? How about I need you to fall in front of me? Because I'm not watching you when you fail. I'm watching you and how you get up. Because I need somebody to model to me how to get up. How about it's not your perfection that I was ever looking for. It was watching you stand and shine and be inside of such an obvious imperfection. That's my inspiration. When I see you perfect, we're not a match. We're not a match when I see you perfect. The night before I went on Oprah, I'm freaking out because I know I can't go anywhere without telling the real story. So she had modeled us as all these experts, and I was like, well, I'm going to tell my mess. I don't know about them, but You know, because the 56 million people watching her, they're not secret teachers. And so they need to hear about a woman. They need to hear about somebody who has doubt. I'm going to tell them that. So I'm freaked out because I already know I'm going to tell the truth like that. And I don't know what that means. And I've never told my mess in front of 56 million people before. You know, I can do 500, 600, 5,000, 6,000, but 56 million? Like, damn, right? And so I'm nervous, and I'm packing for the trip the night before, and I'm listening to Kirk Franklin, a gospel artist, and because he talks about being, you know, imperfect, and I'm matching, I'm trying to, and I'm just freaking out. And at 4 a.m. I call a friend of mine, and I'm just crying. And I said, I'm scared. I got the biggest opportunity of a lifetime tomorrow, and I'm scared. I'm scared that they're going to know that I'm scared. I'm scared that they're going to know that I messed up so many times. I'm scared that they're going to know just all my imperfections. I'm just scared. He said, let me pray for you. I said, okay. And he's just, what he said next changed everything. He says, God, thank you for using your most imperfect child to help your most imperfect children. And I was like, oh, I'm perfect for the job. And I promise you, it just shifted. And I've been standing on that since 2007. And so I just stopped by to stir your soul. I stopped by to disrupt any form of complacency you might have in mediocrity. I stopped by to not let you off the hook of your greatness. I stopped by to remind you that your 70% might look like 159% to somebody else, but it's still your 70%. I stopped by to say it's in your imperfection that you're perfect. I stopped by to say that your gifts were never about you and for you. I stopped by to remind you, and every time I see you, I'm going to remind you that I need you more than you need you. That when you cross my path, and I watch you keep working at it, and I watch you keep coming back, you put oxygen in my chest. So I need you to keep showing up. It looks like for you, but it's just for me and a million other people coming behind me watching you. I stopped by to ask you, are you willing to live an abundant life at the risk of having it all abundant? Are you willing? Are you willing? Are you willing to make abundant living your automatic stop, non-negotiable? And anything that's incongruent with it has to be evicted. That you're willing to disrupt your norm for it. You're willing to walk alone for it. See, some of you want company so much, and you got to realize that before you can be good company to me, you got to learn how to be good company to you. So if you walk alone for a while, and you will share your vision with someone and they won't get it. They just won't get it. They won't get it. They will not get it. And they won't get it for a reason. And someone came here just to hear this message. They won't get your vision because God didn't give your vision to them. Your vision was given to you. And it's your job to nurture it, to feed it, to be good to it, to bring it out so we can then see it. But until you bring it out, we can't see it. So please don't ask me how beautiful it is. I can't see what's in you. That's like me being pregnant and saying, my baby pretty, huh? I don't know. Could be ugly. I don't know. So I just stopped by to ask you just a few questions. I have tons of content I can give you, but you're getting a lot of content. I want to make sure that's landing on tilled soil. I want to make sure that you stir it up a bit. I want to make you uncomfortable. Is it working? I want to do that because it's not always in your comfortable. Rah, rah, let's all be awesome. See, I was sitting on that couch in 1995, and I didn't say, I want to be awesome. That didn't come out first. What came out was, this is not who I am. I am more than this. And I want my dash to freaking dance while I'm here. And I don't want to get to the end of my days and said I kept some in. I don't want to get to the end of my days and said I was standing at the line waiting for the right time. So sometimes your greatest leap comes from being fed up with something. Your greatest leap comes with being done with something. Your greatest leap comes in a combination. I'm complete and I'm ready. I'm complete with that and I'm ready for that. See, when I was ready for an abundant life, numbers didn't scare me, money didn't scare me, going to conferences by myself didn't scare me, working all night didn't scare me, being alone didn't scare me. Nothing scared me because I was ready. I said yes to it. And everything that came with it, are you willing to say yes to that too? Are you willing? Because the reality is, someone's watching you. Someone's watching you. He's been waiting for me. Thank you, sweetie. Thank you. Someone's watching you, and when you win, they win. When you win, they win. Some 14-year-old girl, some 20-year-old guy, some 10-year-old boy, they're watching you. And when you win, they win. A 3-year-old child, when you win, they win. A stranger, a neighbor, when you win, they win. I get that my win doesn't just belong to me. When I win, she wins. When I win, he wins. And so on the days when you don't want to do it for you, do it for us.
You know, if you want to.
All right. So that was Lisa Nichols. I hope you all got something from it, right? Hope you all got something. So I'm just going to go over a couple things that she talked about because she dealt in a lot of stuff, right? She spoke on a lot of different things. One thing she said was success leaves clues, and to celebrate your micro wins. If it's a small milestone, celebrate that, because those little steps and those little bricks build a house. So it's not just the big things, the things that everybody celebrates you for. Celebrate all of it, because they're all steps to you being your best self, all right? And one thing that she did talk about is how we fail, but we always fail forward. So to use your lessons, not as luggage, but to use them as lessons and to move on, not to carry them with you all the time, because it's going to hold you down. It's going to weigh you down. So when it comes to having an abundant mindset, being an abundant thinkers always fail forward. They're not just responsible for their thoughts and for their actions, but also for their reactions before they ever do it. Very well thought out, very planned, very strategic with everything that they do. So keep that in mind. If you are somebody who wants to walk in purpose and wants to live their purpose out in real life, be and become an abundant thinker. Be strategic with your actions. Be strategic with your thinking, with your responses, with how you move, with who you're around, with what you pour into yourself, because what's on the inside is what's going to come out. To continue to stay in cognitive dissonance, where it actually forces your mind to not believe what's going on with your current behavior, disrupts your mind to think something different, right? So she went into affirmations and how you should understand the power of I am. Your conscious mind will believe it. When whatever you say I am, whatever comes after that, your mind consciously and unconsciously believes those things. And so just to keep that on forefront in your mind, speak life into yourself, speak life over yourself. Always put yourself in a position to win. And like she said, when you don't feel like doing it for yourself, do it for your why. Do it for the people that you are trying to reach, right? Because we all have people on our assignment and on our path. And if we just decide to give up, if we decide, oh, you know what, I don't want this, I don't care, it doesn't matter, I don't feel like it today, there's people that's watching. They're always watching. People that's looking up to you. Even if you don't think, someone is always watching what you're doing and what you're not doing. So be mindful of that. And how bad do you really want to walk in purpose? How bad do you really want to go out there and put yourself out there, right? So She talks about how this is a calling on your life that you can't shake. No one can be you. I can't be you. You can't be me. You know, what's for me is for me. What's for you is for you. And the purpose that I have, you can't fulfill because you're not me, and vice versa. And so when we learn to not focus on comparing ourselves with all these other people, then we can actually walk in our purpose and not be so caught up in how green somebody else's grass is when we can nurture and tend to our own. Also, letting go of things that don't serve us anymore, and asking yourself, what are you willing to let go of? What are you willing to sacrifice? What are you willing to gain in order to get to that next level? How can you reinvent yourself? This is something that you should be focused on. If you want to walk in purpose, what do you need to change? Because nothing changes if nothing changes. And if you've been doing the same thing over and over and over again with the same results, nothing is going to be different unless something changes. So what are you going to do to reinvent yourself? What are you going to do to change? Be intentional about being the best you, and be intentional about stirring someone else's soul and disrupting someone else's mediocrity. But you can't disrupt someone else's mediocrity if you're mediocre. If you want to live your best life, you have to be willing to do the best in everything, to be excellent. We weren't created to be mediocre. We were created to walk and live in excellence. So if you're not doing that, then you're doing a disservice, not only to the people you're meant to serve, but to yourself, because you treat others the way you treat you. So if you're not treating yourself right, it's going to reflect in every area of life. All right, so this is going to close out our Q&A Wednesday topic, the series, How Do I Walk in Purpose? If you missed any portion of this prior to today, don't worry. It updated on all things Intelexx. Go to our YouTube channel, subscribe to our YouTube channel, subscribe to our email list, which is free $99, and download our app, the Artrepreneurs Hub. If you are a member and a subscriber of Intelexx, you get all the inclusive perks through our app, so that's a double win. All right, make sure to tune in to this month's Showcase Your Talent show on the 28th, which is a Thursday. Our theme is Winter Wonderland. There are still spots available, so make sure to sign up if you want to participate. For those of you who are competing, you will win. Whoever wins this month will be in the running for our grand prize next month. There will be a smaller cash prize this month, but the grand one is next month. So for anyone who wants to participate, we have some room for you. There's also an open mic if you just want to share your art. All right, so until next time, if you want to stay up to date on what we have going on here, Meeting of the Minds Mondays, Q&A Wednesdays, Freestyle Fridays, Intellects, a Place for Entrepreneurs podcast, our seminars, our merch, our books, so much going on. Definitely go to Intelexx.com, go to our link in the bio, download our app to stay up to date on all things Intelexx. But don't worry, the live that we did today, we will upload here in our YouTube channel and our app, so you have access in many different ways to see what we did today. So thank you so much for tuning in, and until next time, I hope you have a great night and an amazing rest of your week.